Hey friends, welcome to another small episode of Ocran Data. First of all, a big hug and special shout out to my friend El Nino 28, who doesn't miss a single video. We're always here for you, my friend. Good evening. Today, we'll talk a bit about some people who are part of the PIZAA group. But the worst part is, they also hold public cargoes in the government. And that's the real problem, because they're shamelessly swearing an oath of loyalty to the people, to the population, and doing the exact opposite, and other little things that I'll show you. So, my friends, join me to stay well informed about those who you might meet on the street in a police uniform, but who are actually employees of Ocran in Sinaloa. First up, we have Sergio Antonio Leyva Lopez, nicknamed El Oso. Here, I'll show you a picture of him. This character, Friends, is currently the Public Safety and Municipal Transit Secretary of Culiacan, Sinaloa. But he's a state police officer. He was also previously the Public Safety and Transit Secretary of the Municipality of Lota. But today, his real function and job is with the PIZAA group. So this Sergio Antonio takes direct orders from the Guerritos and the Sapitos, which for practical purposes is the same thing. Here's a clip from an interview where he explains why he and his bodyguards can carry their tools, while the other municipal police in Culiacan have theirs held by the army. Because they're checking them. So our military elements are making a big mistake, since one of the real big shots, quite literally, is having his tools left to him when he's one of those fully involved with the pizza group. And to top it off, the shameless guy in this video I'm going to show you talks about his oath as a police officer. This man has no shame, but here it is for you.
Apoyando. Y se han preguntado mucho por qué traemos el arma nosotros. Si bien lo recuerdan, nosotros somos elementos activos de policía estatal. Sí, somos elementos de policía estatal activos comisionados en policía municipal. Igualmente, la mayoría de la escolta de nosotros también son policía estatal.
Oigan,
por
no
eso es que nosotros.
riesgo los policías están en en su casa porque, pues, de todas maneras, aunque no se las llevaban, ¿no? Pero de todas maneras, sin saber que no tienen armas.
Bueno, el tema. Policía nunca dejamos de ser, ¿no? Policía siempre somos, decimos nosotros, en el mundo policial 24/7, ¿no? Desde el momento que nosotros hacemos pues, ese juramento ante la sociedad que nos debemos, pues siempre somos policías. El tema de que hay...
Another employee of Pizza is Eliab Zatarain Romero, who currently serves as the chief of the municipal police in Culiacan. Here, I am showing you his picture. And also the deputy chief of the municipal police in Culiacan, Benjamin Villarreal Guerrero, whose picture I'm showing you here. Another one who was put in that Torres Valdez, the traffic director of Culiacan. Here I also leave his picture. And here, I'm going to try to show you a picture of the four of them together. It will appear here, but even though these men hold key security positions in Culiacan, they all report to Commander Juanito, or, as they also call him, Commander Julieta. And here, I'm going to show you his picture because he's famous, and soon I'll tell you why. Here, I'll show you the picture. Well, this Juanito is the true leader and boss of the four policemen I mentioned earlier. Even though he holds a lower position than them, he has more power. And this isn't because Juanito has direct communication with the Sapitos. No, rather, he is actually a member of that group and of mid-level rank, responsible for disappearances and resignations, the movement of goods and tools, also providing security in specific areas when one of the pizza bosses is there. And he also has various businesses, of course, all illegal. He also sends Fanta north. And in Culiacan, He owns tow trucks that are used at sobriety checkpoints and also in accidents, etc. This is because Archibaldo is also a partner, since he was the one who put up the money to buy them. Another policeman from Culiacan, but this one from the State Preventive Police, is Ernesto Alonso Baez Perez, known by the codename Triton. Here, I'm showing you a picture of him. This corrupt policeman, like all the others, also works for PIZA. He was previously stationed in the municipalities of Concordia, El Fuerte, and Badiraguato. Just do the math. This was the person who was betraying the Public Security Secretary of the state of Sinaloa, Cristobal Castañeda Camarillo, so that Zapatos would resign him, and I had told you something about this long ago. Well, this was the one who passed on all the information about the planned operations from former soldier Cristobal Castañeda. Ernesto Alonso is also in charge of getting people to resign, just like Juanito. Another active element in the security field in Sinaloa is Jorge Riataga, brother of Toner, a man-gun of the Zapitos, right hand of the famous Focamon, well, the Gavilan. So, he is the Gavilan who is very close friends with Peso Pluma. Obviously, everyone has heard the corridos that his friend Peso Pluma sings about the folk. But later, I'll tell you more about him and my buddy Peso Pluma so you can really get to know the reality of these friends. Well, this Jorge Riatiga works in the prosecutor's office and is clearly there because his brothers placed him there on the orders of the Zapitos. He is in charge of releasing detainees who have something to do with pizza. And also, sometimes when things are seized from this group, he is the one who ensures everything is returned to the Zapatos, like what happened recently with a lot of Fanta that was confiscated there in the prosecutor's office. He also passes on information about operations, searches, and the like, and of course makes sure things don't appear in the news, arranging everything so that others are blamed for what their bosses do.
Aquí está la foto de él, como pueden ver. Y se recuerdan a la exfiscal del estado de Sinaloa, la señora Sara Bruna Quiñones Estrada.
She was in charge of the investigation in the case of Hector Melesio Cuen Ojeda's resignation. You can see her picture here. But instead of investigating, what she did was fabricate a series of accusations on the orders of the major criminal Rocha Moya so that the cause of Melesio Cuen's resignation appeared as an attempted car robbery. And I hope you remember that just like that, she staged a setup at a gas station to make it look like they tried to rob Cuen of his vehicle there. But since there was a lot of noise about that case, the Attorney General's office took over the case. Look what the liar said in a press conference.
Se realizó un acta de inspección ocular del lugar de los hechos, siendo esto en la gasolinera de La Pesita, Culiacan. Solicitud y obtención de videograbaciones de la gasolinera antes señalada. Se cuenta con la comparecencia de identificación legal del cadáver. Se dio la intervención correspondiente a la Dirección General de Investigación Pericial para la práctica de dictámenes periciales relacionados con los presentes hechos, obteniéndose los siguientes: dictamen químico en materia de toxicológico de alcohol, dictamen químico en materia de toxicológico de drogas, dictamen químico en materia de rodisonato de sodio, dictamen químico en materia de tipo sanguíneo, dictamen pericial en materia de medicina legal de autopsia, donde se concluye que la causa de muerte de víctima se debió a un choque hipovolémico secundario a laceración de la arteria poplitea derecha, producida por proyectil disparado por arma de fuego, y que presentó 4 heridas producidas por proyectil disparado por arma de fuego, de las cuales 2 presentaban orificio de salida y 2 no tenían orificio de salida.
Well, since their plan blew up in Rocha and the prosecutor's faces along with the Attorney General's office, and Moser, the supposed line of investigation they fabricated was dropped. So then Rocha Moya ordered the prosecutor to resign, promising her nothing would happen, meaning no charges for lying in an investigation related to a resignation. That's why Sara Bruna resigned, feeling confident. but now is cleared by the Attorney General's office that Quen Ocheda's resignation happened in Pedregal's orchards and proved all the lies Sarah Bruna told. Things are really serious now for these two scoundrels, Rocha Moya and Sarah Bruna. They lied to the people of Sinaloa because if they did it once with something this political, showing they don't care at all, imagine how many times they've done it. So, hopefully they'll open an investigation into both of them and face consequences for being criminals and mocking the people of Sinaloa. Here's the news I'm talking about that was announced by the Attorney General's office. And, well, friends, as we're used to seeing these criminals with their antics, here's another one from the notorious and infamous governor of Sinaloa, Rocha Moya. Check out what he says when a reporter asks him if crime is still in charge in Sinaloa.
Señor, ¿sigue la delincuencia matando en Sinaloa?
Yes.
Well, there you have this shameless, cynical guy, old and brazen, but at least you have to admit that for the first time he told the truth. Well, folks, that's all for today. I hope you liked the video. Remember to follow us on our social media, buy whichever caps you like. Sending greetings to everyone in Sinaloa, and I hope you're all doing great. Remember, the unique and real narrative of the Ocran world can only be found here. Cheers.